And here we are.
Hey.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. And first of all, good evening to VK.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Good to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, getting ready for the holidays and, you know, figuring out who I'm going to Zoom with on Christmas.
Perfect. And how is the situation right now in your hometown? How are you living the moment?
We're just trying to stay put. A lot of the hospitals are basically full.
Okay.
So they're telling everyone in California, you know, really just stay home. Don't go out, wear your mask, try to be careful. A really close friend of mine, he's been struggling with COVID for the last 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's just been rough. He's had fever and cough, and it's just, he said he just never knows. Every day it's different. He wakes up some days and he's like, oh, I feel great, and then by night he's like, you know. So it's scary. It's scary to watch folks, because we've known a lot of people now that they'll get it and they are never ready for it. They're like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. So I don't want that for anybody. So I'm like, let's all just stay put, try to, you know, work things out this way.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Well,
of course.
this is very good advice, and we all know how is the situation. And of course, we also know that this is a situation that is preventing us to play live, and that's really bad. So be careful, guys. Listen to us, and in the meanwhile, let's stay positive, of course, and let's talk about music. And it's really awesome to have some guests with us, and as you, VK, and we will talk a little bit, of course, about your career and your band, but also eventually about any projects that you have right now. And so let's start. What do you think?
Excellent. Let's do it.
Okay. So we usually start with a very simple question, but probably not so simple to reply. It's about the beginning of your artistic and musical career. And here it is. When did you start singing, and how?
I started singing pretty much as soon as I could make any noise. My mom is very musical. She's a great singer, and I grew up listening to, she had one of those old record players, and she'd have the big old, you know, LPs, and she would always have a stack of records on there, and it would be, you know, Rubber Soul and Revolver and the White Album, and then she would flip to Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline, and you know, so it was like the Beatles and country music. And I know that sounds like a strange combination, but she was always singing, and so I was always singing because she was always singing, and it just kind of became a thing that I used to kind of get my emotions out. You know, especially in my younger years, I was very, you know, very Daria. There's a cartoon here. I don't know if you guys have Daria, where she's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was kind of me. But when I sang, I could get all my emotions out. I could be angry, I could be sad, I could be all those things. And so that's how I kind of got it out. And then I realized, well, why not write it too? So I got a guitar and I started learning to write my own songs. And then it was just anarchy from that point on.
Awesome. Great. And are you total self-taught as a musician, as a singer, or did you take some lessons to improve your technique?
I wanted to take lessons. That's what's funny. I really wanted to take lessons pretty badly. We just couldn't afford it. When I was growing up, it just wasn't in the cards. And I thought, well, the best way to learn how to do something is to do it. So I started with musicals, actually, with stage musicals. So I had gotten Jesus Christ Superstar. And so I would sing Judas. Of course, my mom laughed. She's like, you always wanted to sing the male parts of everything. And I'm like, yes, I did. They have the coolest stuff. And so I would be singing Judas stuff. And I would be like washing the dishes with my mom. And when I'd hit a bad note, she'd go, oh, that wasn't a good one. Go back. And so I'd go back and I'd sing again and I'd sing and like hours. I'd come home from school and the first thing I do is turn on my little boom box and I just keep cranking the volume up until it was like, if I can hear myself over it, then I'm loud enough. Cause I felt like loud was good, which is why now when I sing, they can hear me in Tibet. And so I just practiced. And there were times I really thought I hurt myself where I'd be like, oh God, I think my throat is bleeding. And my mom's like, push through. I would never recommend that for anybody. I always tell folks, please go get real voice lessons. Don't do what I did. I'm only the grace of God that I didn't hurt myself. I can't believe I didn't hurt myself. I've had my throat scoped a few times and they're like, nope, somehow or other, you're fine. Get back in there. Keep going. I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, and then in later years, I thought, well, maybe now I'll take some lessons. And I'm good friends with Mary Zimmer of Voice Hacks. And I said, hey, Mary, what if I took some lessons with you? And she's like, I wouldn't give you lessons. She's like, I'm a big believer. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And she said, somehow you're doing it right. And I don't want to put it in your head. So if I start giving you lessons, you're going to start overthinking it. And then you might hurt yourself. She's like, so just, get back in there. So yeah, that's what I did.
So in a way, it's almost as almost your mother were your teacher.
Yeah. Can
we say that?
I think that's fair. I mean, yeah. I mean, Ma definitely was, sing. If you're gonna sing. And so she pushed but at the same time, like she wasn't like a stage mom because that didn't matter to her, but she liked to hear me sing and she liked to sing herself. And she said, well, if that's what you want to do, then you just better do it. And so, all right, I better do it.
Awesome. Yeah, great. I wanted to go on with this matter, but before, let's say hello to some of our friends. I see that there are some comments. Isn't it, Fede?
Emmanuel, yeah, right, Simon. Emmanuel Bernd.
Hello, sir.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hey,
hi, Emmanuel. Also for Melinda Murray. Hi, Melinda.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
We have also Robson Loops that says, nice.
Hello, sir.
Nice. Yeah. And also, again, a comment from Melinda that says, that's awesome. Yeah.
She's rad.
Yeah. Awesome indeed.
A lot of good people tonight.
I just wanted to say that Jesus Christ Superstar is one of my favorite musical opera ever.
Really?
It inspired me a lot. I also had the chance to watch it live. I watched Ted Neely actually because there were a tour of Jesus Christ Superstar that were really near to my hometown, so I didn't miss the occasion to watch it live. It was really awesome. Yeah, good. I watched it over and over and over again. It really inspired me a lot.
Yeah. There's some great things in musical theater. I think I've been in 16 or 17 musicals over the course of time, and you really learn to project. I feel like that's the biggest thing I got, that you have to just sing for the rafters. Like you really, because they have to hear you and they have to understand your words. So you have to enunciate. And so that's, I think one of my old drummers used to say, he's like, it's weird. I'm sitting back here and I can understand every word you're singing. And I said, yeah, this just, you have to, the words are so important. So you have to just make sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. What's the best character or the favorite character that you played?
Oh, I was the witch in Into the Woods, which was really fun. I love that show. It's Sondheim's best. And it was great to be the witch. I got to wear a lot of crazy makeup, and I got lots of I got to throw fire and things like that. So that was
awesome.
Yeah, that was some good stuff.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fired.
Cool.
No.
So you were surrounded by a cool musical scene in your town, isn't it? Did it help, or you have to search for it?
Well, what's interesting about Los Angeles is, and I always tell folks, you come to LA to find your band. You leave
Okay.
LA to find your fans. Because once you're in LA, everybody's an artist. Everyone's a musician or an actor or a screenwriter or a stand-up comedian. Everyone's something. So getting people to come out and see you play, they're like, I've got my own show, you know, or any given night of the week in LA, there's at least 20 things you can do. And so it's, and a lot of the clubs have closed because of these things. Like we were talking about it, me and Arno from the Spider Accomplice, and I said, you know, I realized that the clubs I was playing like 10 years ago, if I look, 15 of them have closed down.
Wow.
And I'm like,
oh, bad.
Holy Moses. It's so, and now even big tours tend to just skip over LA. They go right down to Anaheim because, you know, they're like, LA, we'll just go to Anaheim. So it's weird. It's a great town and I love LA and I've lived here for a long time and I'll never leave probably. But definitely when we go out to play places, the best places have been when we're on the road and we're like out in the Midwest where folks are like, yes, live music, let's do it, you know?
Yeah, of course. Interesting. It's the first time that I heard about this situation in LA. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's a great town. You never feel like nothing's going on. You feel like everything's going on all the time.
Probably too much.
Yeah.
So right now my imagination is like all the artists and musicians live in LA and they have to spread all around the world to spread music.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of been the talk. A lot of LA musicians have been saying, you know, it's time to get out. It's time to get out. A lot of folks have moved to Las Vegas since the pandemic started because Vegas is cheaper and there's all the casinos. There's so many places to play. But again, you can't really play too much now because of what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
I talked to someone the other day. She just moved to Boise, Idaho. Because she said, well, she's a music producer and she goes, I can do that anywhere. I don't need to spend $1 million to live in Los Angeles. I can, you know, live in Boise, Idaho, where it's much more affordable. And, you know, so it's, again, I think this pandemic is teaching us that we can do things from different places. We don't necessarily need to be in one spot to do a certain thing, even though there is kind of that thing about LA, you know, you want to come and you want to play the Viper Room, you want to go to the whiskey, you know, you want to do those fun things. But I don't know, that time might be coming to an end. That might be over. I don't know.
Okay, we'll see. In the meanwhile, I see that there is a comment from our friend Andre. He usually asks some interesting question. Hi, VK. Is karaoke your song Crawl focus on the social media illusion? How do you deal with the black mirror? After all, you are an amazing web audiovisual producer.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, first of all, for saying so. It's interesting. When I wrote Crawl, I was feeling like there's this thing that you start to get. It's weird. I had a manager many years ago who felt like I needed to be blonde and I needed to be really skinny and I needed to do all these things. And I started feeling like a complete fraud, you know? I mean, first of all, I was suffering from anorexia at that point. I was like just over 100 pounds. I was tired. I was sick, and blonde is not me. It's just not me. And I felt like everyone could see that I was a fraud. I felt like I stuck out. Even though in LA, everyone's blonde and skinny, somehow I felt like I stuck out because I felt like everyone knew I was fake. Everyone knew. And so I just started like you know what? This is actually, I'm this person. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but this is who I am. And I kind of just started shedding off all of that stuff. You know, I started eating again and I stopped straightening my hair because my hair wants to curl and straightening it was such a pain in the ass. And then it wanted to be pink. It just wanted to be pink, you know? And gradually I just started being who I wanted to be. And who I actually wanted to be was, you know, with pink hair and lots of tattoos. And strangely enough, I don't feel like I stick out anymore, which I know doesn't make sense because I know that I kind of do a little bit, but I don't feel like I do because I feel like I'm actually being who I am. And so that was what Crawl was about, of like getting all of that junk off of you. And that's why at the end of it, I'm like naked, because it's like, that's who I really am. The tattoos, the hair, all of that stuff. And when I first told my husband my idea for the video, I said, it's going to be great. I'm going to be in like a snake skin, like a snake, you know how they shed their skin. And then by the end of it, I'm just going to be like naked and who I am. And he's like, what now? And I said, no, it's going to be great. And he said, okay, because he knows at this point, he's like, okay, let's see what you got. And then after we shot it, he was like, I get it. I get what you were trying to say now. And he's like, it makes sense. And I said, yeah, I just feel like so much of the music business and even just society in general tells us we have to be a certain thing. We have to look like a certain thing. We have to act like a certain thing. Like if you're a metal musician, well, you better, you know, wear black and you better have long hair and you better, you know, and I'm like, you don't have to. You can, but you don't have to if you want to. And, you know, if you're a pop artist, you've got to be completely the perfect shape. And I know some pop female musicians and God bless them. I feel like those girls never have fun. They spend their whole day, you know, just trying to keep fit and to keep perfect. And it's just, I don't think people can identify with perfect because nobody is perfect. And so it's hard for them to connect to an artist that they feel like is completely unreachable. And I think that too is why people are so nasty on YouTube and in comments about people, because they don't see them as real people. They think they're a character or a cartoon.
A product.
Yeah, they don't see the humanity there. So they feel like, well, if I say this, it's not hurting anyone's feelings. So when they can see a person who's actually real, then they're like, oh, wait, maybe musicians are people. Maybe they're human beings. And I think that's what we need. We need a lot more of that. So I'm sorry, Andrea, that was a very long answer. I'm sorry.
It was really cool. And really, and also message that you to give us, you give to our friends. Really awesome. I like it a lot. And also, Melinda, Melinda agrees with you. She says, pink hair definitely suits you better.
It does. It really does. It just feels, if I could get it to just grow this way, that'd be perfect. Like that would be perfect, you know.
Yeah.
We have other comments. For example, for Andrea M, who says, Simon, if someone write a prequel of Jesus Superstar, you can act as Moses.
Let my people know.
And we have a comment from Vanessa. It says, Vanessa Marika Engström Lennart daughter, sorry for the wrong pronunciation. Hi, love from Sweden. Hi, love from Italy.
Hello.
And we also, also. And we have a comment from Meka Belikov, our friend. How are Evans and the beautiful line? Sorry, I'm good.
Me too, man. How are you doing?
That is an impressive.
Trying to do a lot of mistakes tonight, but I will do it. Right? And also we have a comment from Ibrahim. Hey guys, how are you? Sorry I haven't been here a lot. I contracted the virus. But I'm healthy now. Good.
I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're better.
Good to know that you're better, man.
Good to know. Yeah.
Take care of yourself, man.
Love you guys. Love you too.
To you, man.
Love to you, man. Yeah. I think we can go on with our questions. You have our fantastic questions, Science.
Okay, let's do them. Okay, so thank you for your good answer, VK. Let's go on. So You talked about the beginning of your singing career, musical career, but which was the spark that brought you to become a professional singer?
Melissa Etheridge. I can honestly say Melissa Etheridge. I was watching, I don't know if you guys remember, you're probably too young to remember, the MTV Unplugged that they
Yeah.
And she was sitting there, and it was just her and her guitar, and she was telling the stories about her songs and singing her songs, and it felt like there was just an instant thing that I felt, and I just was like, this is it, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. And from that, I don't think I looked back from that point on. And so, it's amazing, because I probably should be a great guitar player by now. No. The guitar, I always say I play the guitar like I'm trying to kill it. Like I'm just trying to wrestle it into submission, it's so weird.
Yeah,
but it's always been more to like I'll sing all day long, but like the guitar has been more to back up me singing and for me to construct the songs. And I feel like I have learned a lot, but I'm never going to be like Arno, like my partner Arno, like he's all these crazy, I'm never going to be that, but I'm a solid rhythm player. Like if you need the rhythm, I got you. But like,
perfect.
Yeah, that's never going to be a lead player.
So a live situation inspired you. You watching somebody play that brought you to the spark, and what was that inspired you so much about that situation?
It was so honest. It's a weird thing, but I really try to be as honest as humanly possible. And it's weird. It's going to sound weird, but I feel like we live in a lot of falsehoods. I mean, we don't know what to believe anymore. It's hard with the news. You don't know what's true or not true. With Facebook, people feel like if they say it, it's true, not necessarily. And especially now, social media. I mean, look at Instagram. It's not true. I mean, nobody looks like that. It's a world of filters and clever things, bunny ears, and nothing is real anymore. And so how, especially for young, like if you're like a teenager coming up, I can't imagine trying to be a teenager right now. How do you know what is real anymore in the world? And so when I write music, I'm like, I want to be as honest as humanly possible. I want to just tell you the truth and hope that it makes you feel like, oh, my life isn't so fucked up. It's okay. Everything's, sorry.
No problem. You can say whatever you want.
Okay. I know for me, the music that's always touched me, the music I go back to is when someone's being so honest and they're saying, I'm a mess. Because then I'm like, oh, you're a mess too. I'm a mess. Let's be a mess together.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like, yeah, we're a mess, but we're going to be okay. We're going to move on and life goes on. And that's what's great about life. And I feel like this perfectionism that we're pushing in social media and everything else is teaching our kids that you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you're imperfect, you're going to be drugged, you're going to be canceled, and you're going to lose everything. So be perfect. And all that's going to do is teach our kids never to try anything. They're never going to try anything. They're never going to take risks. And if they don't take risks, we're never going to invent anything. We're never going to create anything. And the problems of the world today require creative thinkers. So we have to stop squashing the creativity because they're afraid of failure. Let them fail. Let everyone fail. Don't make one failure the basis to destroy a person. So I feel like that's why maybe I talk about my failures so much in my songs. I'm like, I'm a mess. Look what I did. And I'm okay. And so you can listen and go, oh, that girl, look at her. She's still standing and she's a freaking mess. And it's like, I think we've got to be easier on ourselves in some regard. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's really another good message for us. That's really inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's cool that you talk a lot about being honest, being true. First of all, being true with ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's a really good starting point in order to connect with the people. And that's good because music is a way to connect with people. And of course, it's a way to help people to feel themselves connected with the other, and to not feel lonely also.
Absolutely.
Isn't also, Melinda agrees again. That's one of the many reasons that I appreciate you so much. Your honesty and realness is something that resonates with me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Melvin.
Awesome. Good.
Okay, speaking about inspiration, which are the albums and the bands that have influenced you the most during your musical growth?
Tricky question.
That's so hard. That's hard because I love music. I love all kinds of music. I love good music. Honestly, and everyone laughs when I say this, but hang in there. Do you remember Extreme with Nuno Betancourt?
Yeah, Extreme, of course.
Love. Nuno is so talented, and I feel like he never gets enough credit. He's an amazing guitar player. And then, like, Three Sides to Every Story, that record just blew my mind when it came out. I was just like, what is happening? This is amazing. Because he had like strings and symphonic stuff going on, and I was like, and that was like the late 90s. Oh my God. And this was amazing to me. And I thought, this guy is nuts. He's so talented. Nobody even knows it. And he just blew me away. And, obviously Melissa Etheridge, the Indigo Girls gave me this love for harmony and for lyric writing that, like, I love harmony. I love to sing with other people. It's I'm like that weird friend who's like, can we play? Like every female singer I know, I'm like, hey, you want to sing? Let's sing together. And they're like, oh my God. Because I love harmony. I just love when voices blend together. It's gorgeous. I would say Nightwish was a big influence, and they came along like later for me. I was kind of knee deep in, Queensryche and the Black Crowes. I love blues. Beth Hart, she's amazing. So it's a weird thing. We Arno always says, my voice is kind of blues metal.
Okay.
Because I've got both influences that I really love, like, metal and like that kind of music. But then I love blues too. Like Chris Robinson, I wanted to be Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes when I grew up. There was a point where I was like, I really wanted to be Chris Robinson. And my mom, again, this used to upset my mom. She's like, you always want to be some man when you grow up. Then I'm like, no, I wanted to be Bret Michaels for a while. I wanted to be Axl Rose for a while, I don't know. Sometimes I think, maybe it looks easier to be a dude. I don't know. I feel like dudes can do whatever they want. And like people are like, yay, that's awesome. So I don't know. I always wanted to be a dude. At least in music. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Tate. Oh my gosh. That has to be one of the best concerts I ever saw. I saw the Promised Land tour, and I was like, this guy, he's nuts.
Yeah, we toured with him.
Oh,
he was playing Operation Mindcrime 2 years ago. We were touring with him and his band, of course, and also with Angra. And man, watching Operation Mindcrime from the beginning to the end, played by Jeff Tate, it's also. But the best part was watching him singing Silent Lucidity with Angra playing. I have goosebumps right now. I have goosebumps. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was in a Queensryche cover band briefly for a short period of time. I was Jeff Tate for a moment in time. Oh God. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and right now, like, There's so much good music out there. I love Macklemore. I know that
Yeah.
sounds,
Yeah.
but he is honest. Talk about honest. Like, I love that. I love that there are a lot of rappers who tell you how great they are. And I feel like Ben spends all his time telling you what a mess he is. He's like, nope, I'm a mess. I've screwed it all up. I'm a terrible mess. Like, yeah. And I love that about him. I love that about him. I like Delane right now. We just opened for Delane. And I know Charlotte from Eve's Apple. And so I've been trying to listen to music that my friends make, and like, because that's cool to do that. Like my friend Mary is in Helium Prime, and before this whole pandemic happened, we went out to see her play, and it was just the most fun show ever. Like we were just like screaming and hopping up and down, and because when you cheer for your friends, I feel like you cheer even louder.
Yeah, of course.
You're a crazy person out there. You're like, man, oh my God, I love you.
And how many of these bands or artists that influenced you? How many of that you have the occasion to watch live?
Let's see. Well, I've seen Extreme a few times.
Me too. One time. Okay.
Yes, I think I 3 times. I've seen Queensryche only once, but that was not good. I've seen Nightwish 3 times. I've seen Melissa twice. I saw Aerosmith once, and that was really awesome because Steve Tyler is a rubber band of a human being. Like, he should not be able to move like that at his age. I'm like, what are your joints made out of? Molasses? Like, it's crazy. Yeah,
I watched them live once.
Wow.
I watched the Aerosmith and Extreme were playing in the same tour with Alter Bridge also.
Oh my God! Wow.
They were Extreme, Alter Bridge, and then Aerosmith. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wow.
Oh.
I ate it, Simon.
Sorry.
Don't hate. Just
no. I'm kidding.
Okay. So Queensryche and then Extreme, Aerosmith.
Yep, Melissa Etheridge. I've seen the Indigo Girls twice. I saw Joan Jett with Morrissey, and that was crazy. That's the reason that's interesting is I just kind of had missed the Morrissey boat. Like I was like, I knew one song by Morrissey, and I didn't know anything about him. But my friends here in town, I have a friend in town. He's like, oh, we love Morrissey. He's like, he's like, and he's Mexican, and he's like, my people love Morrissey. And I said, really? I said, is Morrissey Mexican? He's like, you don't know a lot about him, do you? I said, no, I don't. So I go to the concert, and here comes Morrissey. And for an hour, I was just captivated. I mean, this guy, like, I know he's problematic. I know he says dumb shit. But when he was on that stage, he meant every word he was saying. You felt like he was so honest, and you just felt like he was trying to give everything he had to the audience. And I was blown away. I was like, I'm watching a master class in performing right now because I don't think he had anything left to give when he left that stage. I was like, all right, Morrissey. All right. You do the thing, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say to you that Black Crowes probably were the first band that I ever saw live.
Oh, I love them so
but
much.
I didn't actually meant to watch them because I was so little because we were 13. I was watching my first show with my dad. He was bringing me to watch Neil Young.
Oh wow!
And there were Black Crowes as a supporting band. They were awesome, by the way.
So good. Oh, yeah. I can never get over the Black Crowes. I feel like they changed the game. They really did. They changed the game.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and which, in your opinion, were the best show that you ever watched?
Okay, here we go.
Tricky question.
It is a tricky question. Best show I ever saw still has to be the Promised Land tour. It really was. They showed up and just, well, Typo Negative was opening for them.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it was a crazy night. So we walked in and Pete Steele was standing there singing Summer Breeze. So, you know, it was like the floor was rumbling. It was like, Summer Breeze. I was like, there's this huge dude up there, you know, belching Summer Breeze. And he was really cool. And then like the Queensryche tour had 19 tractor trailers full of set pieces behind the theater. And I was like, this is going to be crazy. And it was. They played the whole record from beginning to end. I mean, Jeff Tate rolled out in a wheelchair for Damaged and stuff. I was like, oh my God, what am I watching? This is amazing. Yeah, yeah, it was. They just really went above and beyond. That was amazing. And probably the second best is like, and only because of what it did was I went to see Nuno Betancourt play here in Hollywood. And he was actually... He was playing it. There's a place called Club Lingerie. It's not open anymore. Probably because their sound system sucked. Because I played there one night and I just wanted to jump out a window. I had sidebar. They had no monitors. The monitors were not working. So I'm on stage and I am singing as loud as I can because I think no one can hear me because the monitors are out. And all of a sudden from the back of the room, you hear my husband go, "Baby, we can hear you." And everyone's like, yeah, oh my God. So I was like, oh, and they were like, yeah, you were like blowing the walls out. So I hated that place. But I had gone to see Nuno play there and the opening act was on. And the opening act was Beth Hart. And if you've never heard Beth Hart, you haven't lived. You just haven't lived. She is the queen. She is an amazing blues singer. And talk about someone putting it out there. I mean, she was on stage. I mean, she was sweating. She had no shoes on. She was screaming. And I think what she was screaming when I walked in the door was motherfucker. And I was like, all right, what's going on here? And she wrecked me. She just wrecked me. She is so honest. Her record, Leave the Light On, like everyone out there is watching, get that record. It will change your life. She's a powerhouse. And I'm so glad I went to see Nuno that night because I got Beth out of it. I mean, I love Nuno, but Beth like changed my life. She completely changed my life. And I became more honest in my songwriting because of her, because there's honest. And then there's, oh my God, did you just say that honest? And that's Beth Hart. You feel like, did you just tell us that? Okay. And I love that. I love that nothing's off the table with her. So yeah, those are the shows, you know.
Okay, cool. I see that there are some comments here, Fede, from our friend Dex.
Dex, for example, he says, "Hi everyone, I'm a bit late to the party today. No problem, man. Glad I made it. Good.
You're welcome. You're fashionably late.
Yeah." And we have another comment from Dex that says, "I saw the Extreme Free Sides tour, one of the best I have ever seen."
Yep.
He's the best, right?
He really is.
Yeah, one of the best guitarists
of the world
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And also we have a comment from our friend
Matthew.
Hey,
Matt.
Hi.
Hello, Matthew.
Welcome.
How are you, man? Yeah. Hope you're fine. Yeah, and I think that's it. We can go on, guys. What do you think?
Okay, yes. I would like to talk a little bit about your band, but before that, I would like to invite our friend to check out every channel and website from VK. Okay? With that, so follow her on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube, of course, and also on her website. And you know, you will find something honest.
You will. You definitely will.
Yeah. On her social media. I think this is her main message, to be true honest. So it's nice, in my opinion, to find something true on social media.
Yeah. It's
So
You
totally
know what's
check.
funny, guys? What's funny is I was in a band with one of your countrymen, and we used to Skype, and it's reminding me of Skyping with him. Federico Salerno from Deva. I don't know if you know him.
No?
No. Okay. He's in Milan. I don't know. He might be far away. My geography is horrible. But he was in Milan, and we did the Vita Nova record together. We wrote all the music together, and we would have to Skype to talk about what we were doing. And so it was either the middle of the night for him or the middle of the night for me. And it was funny because he'd get on, he'd be like, and he would, like, his accent would be so thick late at night, he wouldn't even try. Like, and I used to say to him, okay, you have to say that again. I have no idea what you just said. And he's like, and then he would say it again. But it was really fun. And it was like talking to someone who's living in Italy. And like, he was kind of telling me about, like, we were talking around the time you had a big earthquake, I believe. Is that what happened?
Today.
Yeah, today.
Today you had an earthquake?
Yeah. No. What
No.
are you talking about? How many years ago?
Maybe 2.
Okay. You're talking a very big earthquake in the south of Italy. Yeah.
I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Well, I was worried, like, what the heck, dude?" But it was definitely very cool to get to talk to someone on the other side of the world. It felt like, and we were making music together, and it was like, oh my,
cool.
Yeah, it was definitely cool.
Yeah, I was telling you about the earthquake today because we actually had an earthquake today near our hometown, but it was really weak. Nothing bad.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah.
By the way, did you feel it, Fede?
Nope.
Me neither.
I was like, no. Yeah, there is a fun fact, by the way. A few years ago, we had an earthquake, not a massive earthquake, of course, it was a little one. But I just remember that it was morning, and in my house there was only me and my mom, okay, and I was sleeping, okay, and my mom felt the earthquake and runs away from the home, and she
forgot you.
Yeah, she forgot me.
Wow.
I was sleeping. I didn't feel anything, but yeah. Thank you, Mom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, that was fun.
If this is the truth or not. Federico, he was really thin, and I said to him, "Are you eating? You need to be eating." And he goes, He's like, "In Italy, we have one meal, lunch, and it lasts all day. I don't have time." I was like, "Really? Is that true?"
Oh, it depends.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes.
Wow.
I have 2 meals in the day, at lunch and dinner, but sometimes I did some little lunches, maybe after the midnight. But don't say to my doctor, please.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's go on and concentrate a little bit on your band, the Spider Accomplice. How the Spider Accomplice was born, and what are the story and the concept behind the project?
Okay. Well, we were in another band together, Arno and I. Arno and I were in a symphonic metal band, and that band kind of fell apart. And then he and I and the drummer decided we were going to do something ourselves. And we sat down to talk, and it was interesting because Arno and I realized we both really liked blues, and we liked that like classic rock inspired stuff, but we also liked metal. And I was like, wow, I've never met anyone who likes that the way I do. And so we're like, well, let's just see if we can write something together before we get crazy. Let's see if we can. And we sat down to write. And the first night we wrote Atmosphere, our song Atmosphere. And we were like, okay, I think we have something. Like, let's see where we can go from here. And the Spider Accomplice name, I had that name kind of tucked away for a while. I had tried using it a few years before that with another group, but our guitar player passed away, and it just, everything kind of just went to pieces a little bit. So the Spider Accomplice came from the idea that, like, I'm crazy, or at least I often think that I'm just, you know, as songwriters are. And I said to my husband one day, I'm like, sometimes I feel like there's this little spider in my head, and it's just crawling around there, spinning webs, doing stuff, and my brain gets all cloudy and I can't think straight. And that's when I write a song. I kind of like vomit it out. It's like, bleh, and I get the web out.
Okay.
And then my brain's clear for like a few days, and then it just starts again. And my husband's like, well, but if you didn't have that little spider, well, then you wouldn't make music. And I'm like, so it's kind of like my partner in crime. He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's kind of like my little Spider Accomplice. And he's like, yeah. And I went, And so that's the Spider Accomplice is my little songwriter muse that lives in my brain, and it spins. So we decided that was a cool name for the band, and we have been the Spider Accomplice since.
Awesome.
Cool.
And okay. So how do you take inspiration for your lyrics? How is the work of the spider?
How is the work of the spider? It's usually whatever is going on in my life at the time is inspiring me. I always tell people, if you have impacted me in some way, you probably have a song written about you. Don't cry, okay? Whether it's been good or bad. But like my husband has so many songs written about him, it's ridiculous. But I try to find it's like someone said about like essayists, that you take events in the world and you take personal events and you see how they connect to each other, and then you ascribe meaning. And that's the way that we communicate concepts to people. And so sometimes something will be happening to me and I'm like, well, who cares if it's happening to me? What does this mean if it's happening to everybody? And that's when I can come up with, okay, now I see what this means. What does this mean in the scope of the world? Like the song User that the Spider Accomplice did. Obviously, for me, it's about one specific person. But I've had so many people tell me, different people, that they're absolutely sure it's about. And I'm like, okay, sure. For you, it is. Because that's the thing. Once I wrote it, it's yours. It's your song now. It's not mine anymore. Take it. Do what you want. I mean, I've had people come up to me at shows and say, oh my God, you totally wrote that song about my ex-wife. And I'm like, okay. I don't know your ex-wife, but okay, fair enough. You know, so it's cool to be able to take something specific and watch people make it for everybody. And so that's usually what I try to do with songwriting, to take something that feels specific and make it mean something for everybody, so that everyone can be part of it. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's so general that everyone's like, well, I don't care anymore, you know?
Yeah, of course. And if I may ask, what's your personal background? Let's not be too personal, maybe, but you know, what do you read about? What are your, you know, interests?
Well, honestly, when I'm not doing music, I do a lot of writing in general. Like I've written 2 novels and I've written 2 books of poetry. So I like that. I read a lot. It drives my husband nuts because I love a Russian novel. The older, the better. Like if it's written before the 1800s, yes, you know, because I feel like I can just disappear in another world for a while. You know, it's like I sometimes the world, I mean, especially this year, the world just sucks. And you look at the news and you feel like, why did I even get up this morning? So if I can disappear into another country 200 years ago, great, I'll do that. So I always have that kind of in my mind, but it also helps me because I like to know historically how things happen, because you can see through the thread of history how people have always been the same, you know?
Yeah.
It's it's a funny thing. Like the older I get, the more I see how everything is connected. And so I kind of like seeing that. I like seeing connections. I've been doing a lot of reading lately about the indigenous people of the United States and the horrible stuff that they went through, and like just like the history of, you know, the United States that we've been taught, and then the history of the United States that is, and going, oh, wow. So that this year especially, I kind of really immersed myself in that, in trying to find out, how did we get here to this point? Because our country is so divided right now. Everyone hates everyone. It's a powder keg out there. People are ready to snap. It's just, I almost walked right into a fight the other day. I had to run to the post office, and I got out of my car just as these two cars were passing each other, and somebody yelled to the other one. The one guy stopped his car, jumped out, and ran after the other guy, screaming at him. And I went, and I'm like, guys,
oh my God,
you've got to calm down. I'm like, I know we're all tense, but I'm like, it's almost Christmas. You can't be throwing hands on the street, dude. Like, come on. Like, so I've been really like trying to, it has to make sense to me. Like, why is this happening? And I don't know if I have an answer, but a lot of the music we've written, I mean, like Fall of the Copper Queen, obviously, you know, is about what's going on in America. And the Christmas song that I wrote last year, It's Christmas Eve America, is basically about, you know, all the little children in these migrant camps that are cold and hungry, and it's Christmas, and they're little kids, and it just really bothered me. So it's yeah, I guess I get interested in everything, but I get interested in humanity. That I know that sounds really general and weird, but I get really interested in humanity. Like, I work for a foundation, a philanthropic foundation, and what they do is they donate to nonprofits that support foster children and you know, homeless youth and things like that. And so I'm always interested in how we can make things better. And it's always, we have to go back to the kids, and we have to give them what they need. Like, we're so many times we're not giving the kids what they need necessarily, the education, the support. And so sometimes my songwriting is almost like serving as a parent. It's almost like I'm momming you, which I'm good at doing. I like to mom people, but like, I'll write a song basically to try to help you feel better, so that, you know, you're okay. Because I'm never going to have kids, but I feel like I've got a bunch of kids when they listen to my music, because I'm like, you are all my children. Come here. Let me make you cookies. It's going to be great.
yeah, cool. Also message. Again, and it's interesting. You kind of live life really intensively, and
my husband says, he's like, calm down. He always tells me, he's like, you worry about things and you concern yourself with stuff. He's like, you know what's really going to help make the world better? You worrying about it. And I know he's being funny, but so that's the thing. He always encourages me to not worry, but he's like, well, go write a song about it. It'll make you feel better. And it does. It's especially if it makes someone else feel like, when we put out Oil Meets Rain, which I wrote about what's going on right now, people messaged me and they said, oh my God, that cheered me up so much. I'm like, oh, yes. Okay, success. That's why we do it. Like, if somebody feels like they can get through the day now, okay. Then that's good.
So in a way, it's like you're struggling to dig into the world, into humanity. You try to express what you feel about what you are seeing in the world, and you try to better things, and at the same time you help yourself to feel better.
Yeah. I mean, songwriting, I mean, you guys know, I mean, songwriting is almost like therapy, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. It helps you sort your, I said to Sean, I'm like, sometimes I think I write songs that say what I need to hear, you know, like I'll listen to it and go, you know, I was right there. All right. I should do that and stop flipping out about this or that. So yeah, I think that's what I can offer. I think every artist has something different to offer. And I think trying to give, like, sometimes people expect a certain thing from a certain kind of musician, but if they've already have that, Like, I feel like, well, you already have someone who does that really well. I'll do this because this is what I do really well. You don't want me to do that. Like, at one point I was in a band and they wanted me to scream, like do the gutturals, like, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. And I feel like if I would do it, I might hurt myself. And I said, well, here's the thing. I'm like, Angela Gossow does that. Mary does that. Mary Zimmer does that very well. I'm like, there's already people who can do that. That's not what I bring. I bring this. I don't feel like we all have to do everything.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Write great love songs. Some people write really great love songs. I'm just not one of them. I don't know why, but I just don't write love songs. Like, it just doesn't happen. And someone said, oh, you should write a love song. I'm like, why? Other people do it so well. Like, we don't all have to do everything and be in competition with everybody.
Yeah, of course.
You know? Like, I was listening to your new, I watched your new video and I was like, listen to that. That's awesome. Like, that's not my strong point. I'm not going to do that because nobody wants to hear me do that. You know, they want to hear you do that. We've got to stop thinking about everyone being against each other and like, oh, I can do this and you can. No. We all do our thing. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
This topic is really connected to the next question, actually, because it's about the songwriting process. Of course, you already talked about lyrics. Would you like to talk a little bit also about musical ideas? Because the question is, what's the songwriting of the process of the band, and how do you usually come up with your ideas?
We have basically two ways that we do it. Either Arno, it's interesting because my partner Arno, because there's only two of us now, we're a duo. And so everything is just me and Arno now. And which I think is great, because I think if you're a record label, you can put the two of us in a hatchback car and send us on tour. I mean, there's only two of us. So he'll like, and it seems like it's every holiday he does this. He sits down with his guitar and he's like noodling. And all of a sudden he'll come up with something and I'll get an MP3 and he'll be like, listen to this. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And when we first started writing together, I would say to him, oh, so what were you thinking about when you wrote that? Like, what was your emotion? And he's like, I was thinking it sounded cool. I'm like, okay. He's like, I don't think in words. I think in notes. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I think in words. He thinks in notes. And I'm like, all right, you give me your notes and I'll give you the words. How they work. So we've discovered that he writes pretty upbeat notes and I sing pretty depressing words. And when you mush them together, you get hope. And like, it was almost like we found a recipe when we did it. We're like, okay, this works. So that's how we write a lot of them. Now, every once in a while, there are the ones that I will just say, I've got a song. Like I say that like I've got an infection or something. I've got a song. And I'll sing it into like my phone or something. And I'll just have it, the whole thing. I'll walk around the house singing it. And I'm like, what is this song in my head? And I don't know. It's just a song in my head. So I start singing it and I'll sing it to him. And he'll be like, okay, how do you think about this? And he'll play some chords. And I'm like, yeah, but could it be a little more this and a little more that? And then we wrangle around until we get it. There have been some songs like that I was walking through my living room at one point and I was like, oh, I've got a song, hang on. And I grabbed my notebook and I wrote the whole thing down and then I sang it into the tape recorder and then I was like, okay, now what? And for a while I thought, well, maybe I need to learn how to produce now so that I can do this stuff. And then I realized I was trying to do that thing that I was saying we don't need to do. You don't need to be able to do everything, And in fact, I just talked to someone who said, you should never produce and mix. They said, your ears are going to fall off. They said, the person who produces should not mix, so we always have like Arno produces, Colin mixes, Mayor masters,
Yes,
and it seems to really kind of, everyone brings their own thing to it. And you don't lose your mind. So we're trying not to lose our minds. But yeah, that's essentially how we do it.
Okay, and that's your thing.
Yeah.
As you said before, yeah, of course. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's change the subject and let's talk about a live performance. Do you remember your first live performance with the Spider Accomplice, and what was your best live performance ever? In your
Let's see.
opinion?
The first live one as the Spider Accomplice was, I'm gonna say it was the Out for Blood tour, and it was at the Universal Bar and Grill in Los Angeles, yes, in North Hollywood, and we had a great time that night. It's a tiny place, but everyone plays there because it's kind of fun, and it's so tight that the tables are up close to the stage, and so everyone took pictures because there's pictures. I just climbed up onto the table in front of the stage and grabbed a beer and was like, let's do this, and it was great. We had a great time. Also because Arno's 6'5" and I'm 5'3", I can stand on anything I want. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's still going to be taller than me, so it works out. Okay. So that was a fun one. But our best show ever was we played the Grove of Anaheim with Delane and Amorphous, and it was such a good night. It was just such a good night. The crowd was so generous and sweet and wonderful because we knew they didn't come to see us. They came to see Delane and Amorphous, but they liked us anyway, and they cheered anyway, and we just left it all on the stage. I mean, there was a lot of sweat that night. There was a lot of sweat and blood and whatnot, but it was great. It was great. I mean, Arno and I both really like the road, and I think that's the thing too. If we could be out on the road every night of the year playing, we would. Like, we're rats for the road. And he's always like, as soon as we get off stage, we're like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So this has been really hard for both of us. I mean, I perform online every Saturday just to try to, because I feel bad. I mean, we were supposed to play. We had so much stuff lined up, and I felt bad because a lot of fans were excited about finally getting to see us, and then I was like, oh, sorry, we can't come. So I'm like, well, you know what? I got to make it up to folks. So every Saturday, I get on there with my little guitar and I wrestle it, and we play. But I know Arno's dying. He's dying to get out there. It's like, I mean, the poor man. It's ridiculous. So I'm hoping. Soon.
Yeah, of course. Do you remember any funny story do you have any funny memory about your tours or your live performances?
So many. I mean, gosh, there have been a lot of things. I'm trying to think of ones I can repeat. I will say, and I think he'd be okay with me saying this, so I'm just going to say it. Okay. So we toured with White Empress when they were still with Paul Allender and Mary and all that gang. And we were going through Milwaukee. And so we stayed at a friend's apartment there. And she let both bands crash there, which is really cool of her, considering she had an apartment that was this big. So there's like air mattresses and sofas everywhere. And it's freezing cold. I mean, I don't know why we went in October because we're idiots. I mean, it was like 3 degrees outside and we were just freezing. Oh. Everyone, and we're all drunk and stupid because it's late and we just played a show and we're all like, yay! You know how you do after the show.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And eventually we kind of fall asleep. But it's like everyone's tired, so nobody knows where they fall asleep. So there's there's like 3 air mattresses in the kitchen next to the refrigerator. And I'm like asleep, and when I wake up, there's Paul Allender's face right here. And he's looking at me and he goes, "It's great, isn't it? If I were in Cradle of Filth right now, I'd be in a fucking Marriott. Here I am down in the trenches." Oh my God. And I heard everyone just holding it in, trying not to giggle because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and Paul's like, "Isn't it great?" I'm like, I said, "Yeah, man, it's rad." Oh, yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was we had so much fun. Like we had so much fun. Everything went wrong. And I feel like that it has to. Like if everything went right, you wouldn't have any stories to tell. So it's like it was almost everything went right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. In the meanwhile, I see that there is somebody commenting. I saw a little bit before Meka Bilaikov that was commenting. I think it was referring to the reading part when you were talking about getting into the past with the books. Let's say hello also to Joseph. Also to our friend Hoon Kim.
Hello.
He says, hi, VK.
Hello, sir.
And I think we have a question from Hoon Kim. VK, do you do the drunk videos with other women?
I know he's talking. He's talking about drunk grammar. So I taught English for a very long time, and a friend of mine also taught English. And we were sitting around drinking wine one night, and one of our other friends said, "Hey, can you explain pronouns to me? Because I said, really want me to do this now?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "All right. Subjective pronouns, objective pronouns. This is what I just went and I did the whole thing." And she's like, "You can even do that tipsy." And I said, please. And someone said, "You should do a show about that." So me and the other girl did a show called Drunk Grammar, where we would drink wine and explain, prepositions and contractions and verbs. And so we did, I guess, maybe like 11 episodes where every episode we would talk about something different and, explain it. And like, this is how you use a semicolon. This is how you do that. But we haven't done it recently because one, she started writing for Nickelodeon. So she's working on a kid's show there now. And I got super busy. I've got so many projects right now. My head might explode. And we realized we were too busy. And also like how much grammar can your liver handle? We can't get drunk every week and talk about grammar. It's like, holy crap. But we had so much fun. It was really fun. It was kind of like drunk history, except not nearly as cool.
Okay, maybe you will do it again in the future. Who knows?
You never know. Yeah, but it's on YouTube, so feel free to go check it out. If there's something you want to know about English, I probably cover it.
Oh, search for it, Fede.
Yeah. I will check them later.
Yep.
No,
videos later.
Check them right now so we can share the link with our friends.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. We are.
In the middle, I see there is also Miguel Mendes.
Hey, Miguel. Hello.
Oh, Portugal. Yes. Yes, I have gotten we got some really nice reviews recently, and they popped up, but they were all in Portuguese. And so I had to put them through Google Translate. And I said to someone, I think I need to learn Portuguese. And they said, oh, that's really hard. That's really hard to learn. So but I feel like if you want to know stuff, like, say thank you. I would like to at least know how to say thank you in Portuguese. So Miguel, you can tell me, how do I say thank you in Portuguese?
It's obrigado, something like that. Yeah,
I think so. No.
All right, now I know.
Yeah, we know that.
That's good.
From Angra.
Yeah,
because we were on tour with them, so they speak Portuguese as they are Brazilian. So
that's the only word that we learned. Yeah, Simon, come on.
I don't know. At the moment, I don't remember any other word, but maybe.
I just remember only obrigado, and that's it. Yeah. But I have a little memory.
Yeah.
Maybe because when we were on tour, we drank a lot, and probably we don't remember anything.
Yeah, I think it's a good reason. Yeah.
It's a good reason.
Excellent reason.
Anyway, let's get back to the Spider Accomplice. What are the plans for you and the Spider Accomplice in the near future?
So we kind of took this new approach about well, probably the beginning of the year, maybe a little before that, where I started realizing that in order to make a full record, you need time and you need money. And time is not something that necessarily is kind to us right now, because I feel like we live in a news cycle where things happen so quickly, you know, and we wanted to be able to get more music out. And so I said to Arno, I'm like, I have this idea. Tell me if I'm crazy. I said, but what if we divided it up into 4 quarters, like the year? And every quarter we put out a song with a video, like a really good video. We put everything into making the song as good as we can, the video as good as we can. And that way we can put out songs regularly and people will give them the attention they deserve. Because, you know, when you put out an album, there's always like one song in there that everyone skips over. And it's not because it's not good, but it's because everyone's like excited about this one, excited about that one. And instead, this way, I felt like every song would get its due. And I felt like financially, it would be a lot more manageable. And so we started doing that. And it's worked out pretty nicely, because I feel like we were able to, even in the middle of this pandemic, we were able to put out more music this year than we were the year before, because we just took it piece by piece. Like we put out enough right at the beginning of the pandemic. We literally went out and shot it, I guess, 2 weeks before the pandemic hit and we locked down. So we were so glad we got that shot. So we put that out. And then Crawl, when Crawl came around, we went separately. Like me and my husband went to this park called Red Rocks and shot my part. And then Arno went with his friend on a different day and shot their part. And then they edited it together to make it look like we were together for the video. And then Oil Meets Rain, we stayed far apart, but I mean, we shot the whole thing in my backyard. We decided it was, because at that point now people were saying it wasn't safe to go anywhere. Like the governor was like, you're not going anywhere. And we're like, well, we have to do something. What are we going to do? And then I thought, well, the whole song is about the pandemic and about the situation and how much we can accomplish in a small space, you know, and the small space might be your house. It might be this little Zoom square. It might be, whatever that small space is, we're learning to achieve more things within that small space. So let's do it in the backyard. So we did. In this backyard, we shot the whole video there. And then we put that out. And then in the meantime, I did a solo song because I had this weird song called Brainwaves that I didn't feel like was a Spider Accomplice song, but I kind of wanted to do something with it. And I thought, well, let's do it. Here we go. Let's do it. So I did that one. And now we're going to put out a new song January 15th. We're working on the video right now. So it feels like we're consistently moving. We're consistently moving and not having to wait for a whole album to be done. So that's kind of the plan, to just keep consistently moving until we reach a point where either, you know, someone comes along and says, here's a bunch of money, or one of us gets rich or famous or something like that. And then we say, okay, I got a bunch of money. Let's do this thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool, that's nice. So guys, if you wanna be updated about anything going on in the Spider Accomplice family, let's check out in their perfect, on their social media, and of course you'll be updated on this interesting way to release music that you are going to do.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's been successful so far, and I know there's a lot of the bigger artists who are saying that they're never going to put out a record again. They're like, I'm always going to put out singles from now on because it just makes more sense.
Yeah,
you know, and who knows, in a few years that could change again. So I'm trying to just change with the business. It's like when people get upset about Spotify and stuff, it's like, well, you can be mad at it or you can work with it. Like, I'd rather work with things than get mad at them.
Yeah.
I've only got so much anger.
And do you have any side projects besides Spider Accomplice?
Well, sort of,
your solo project.
I do have my solo stuff that I do, but like on Friday, well, tomorrow. Oh my gosh, tomorrow. I'm putting out a friend of mine. He has a band called Conflict 10, and they're kind of an industrial electronic kind of thing. And so he had asked me to do a cover, a gothic metal crazy cover of of What Child Is This? So for Christmas. So we're putting that out tomorrow. And again, it was like things had locked down again, like last week, where they were like, okay, that's it, California. Like at some point they were saying, you're not even allowed to go for a walk outside. Stop it. People were like, oh my God. So we had to do the whole thing with green screen. And he had to do a green screen in his house, and I did one in my house. And then my husband had to edit the whole thing. So we went completely nuts. It's so crazy. Wait till you see this video. Oh my God. So there's that. I'm also working on a cover. There's a cover song that I'm doing with some fun people. I won't say yet because I'm gonna wait. But they're very cool people that I love very much. And also there's a stage production that's going to be happening next year because there's a new Alice in Wonderland movie coming out. So there's a stage production that there's a carnival-esque kind of thing coming out next July about Alice in Wonderland. And I'm playing the Mad Hatter.
Oh, cool.
So Arno and I are writing the music for the Mad Hatter right now because they asked us to write the music as well. So we're writing the music for the Mad Hatter and figuring out what it is she's going to sing and say and whatnot. And then, so yeah, that's going to be a whole new adventure for us to see what we have to say about that. So yeah, busy,
right?
Cool.
You have a lot of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody does right now. I think everyone's just trying to, stay busy and do stuff. And because I think it could be very easy to just hibernate right now in your house and that Oreos. But yeah, I think everyone's just, I've seen people be so creative. It's really cool. I love watching like you guys doing this right now. Like this is amazing that you guys are doing this. And it's cool to see artists really pivoting and kind of like, okay, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. And it's cool.
Yeah, we found out it was a really good way to connect with some new people. First of all, and at the same time to interact a little bit with our friends, our fans, entertain them while this tough time. And we are learning a lot of stuff from our guests, and this is awesome. Every time is a surprise. So really, it's really inspiring at the same time. So it's really cool. And by the way, I also see I'm also seeing a lot of people staying creative in this time, and that's a good thing of this moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about creativity, do you have any hobbies, any interest inside music? You already talked about writing and reading, but do you have anything else?
I don't really have time. I have one hobby that I always think is really silly, but you can see it in the Brainwaves video. I'm a baton twirler. I know. You're like, what is that?
Yeah. Maybe I know what is that.
There we go. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the video, but I didn't know the definition. Okay.
Wow. That's great.
It's
Maybe I can do it with my bottle. No, I can do it.
It's so ridiculous because it's not really useful for anything, but it's one of those things I started doing when I was a little kid to amuse myself.
You can teach stick tricks to drummers.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can do.
Yeah, there you go.
But this is the only thing that I can do. I cannot do anything else. But I know that there are a lot of drummers that are really interested in this kind of stuff. So you can be a teacher. You can do some, tutorial on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, side note, when I was in Stork, Thomas Lang was the drummer.
Wow.
And I remember at one point he's like, so what do you think about this? And he was showing me some stick trick. And I said, oh, and so I showed him. And then I said to him, what are these? Like tree trunks? Like these are ridiculous sticks. Like, holy crap, dude. But he had a million stick tricks, you know, he was, you know.
Yeah.
I would always try to get him to do like, you know, cool like tosses and things like that. And he's like, all right.
Well, by the way, that's a pity that I can do this with my guitar, you know.
That would, if you could do that, man, that would be something to see.
I can only do a guitar flip.
Okay.
You know. No, I don't know. I never do this, but I will try. I don't know. Maybe
be careful, man, because if you break the guitar, if you can afford another one.
Yeah, that's the point. But I will be careful. No problem. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
The stress reliever, like when I'm I'll just pick it up. And it's almost like, you know, people have stress balls. I just have my stress baton, and it just kind of gets my stress out. Sometimes I'll just, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, growing up, when I would get stressed out, I would just go outside with my baton and just throw it and all that stuff and kind of, you know, get the stress out. But yeah, I remember I accidentally hit a Porsche with it one time. Yeah.
Whoa.
I also it landed on the bridge of my nose right here. And it was up. I had done a really good high toss, and the sun hit me in the eyes, and it went boom and bounced.
Okay.
And I heard my mom inside. She saw out the window, and I heard her go, "Oh!"
I can imagine the shin.
And she's like, "Walk it off." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, it was wicked. So yeah, that's my. I always say it's my silly carnival talent that I have that I can. Because I mean, what do you use that for? You know, I don't know, but yeah.
But it's cool. And I think, in my opinion, it can be useful because you know, it's a way to free your mind, to entertain yourself while the spider is working in your head.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Any movies, any TV series that you like to watch, something like that? Sometimes we talk about that also.
Oh, I am like, my comfort show is The Big Bang Theory.
Wow. Great.
And a lot of people pick on me for that, but you know what? I don't care. I will watch, like, if I'm having a day, I can just sit down and watch The Big Bang Theory, and I automatically feel better. It just takes my mind off of the whole world. So I really like that one. Movie wise, I mean, I've got my favorite movies, and every year on the 5th of November, I make my husband watch V for Vendetta with me because that's my favorite movie.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, it's really good. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. It's so good. But yeah, whatever is out, I'm usually like, all right, let's watch it, because my husband's an actor, so he gets a lot of movies in advance, and he's like, well, let's watch this. Let's, you know. So there's. Honestly, though, I think what's really cool right now is the series, like the long form series, like Handmaid's Tale and Ozark. Oh my God, Ozark! You're killing me with that. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on right now, but I don't usually have a ton of time to do that. I try to keep up because I don't want to become that like crusty old lady who's like, I didn't hear that. What do you mean, you crazy kid? You know, so I try to like, okay, I should watch this and, you know, have some sense of what's going on. But yeah, like I said, you know, my husband's an actor, and I actually, here you go. If you need something to do and you go on Netflix, there is a movie called 108 Stitches, and I am in that movie. And I am.
Really?
I am. Yes. I am the goth girl color commentator for a baseball team. So yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's weird. I've you know, I'm old and I've done a lot of weird things. Like I'm in the Quiet Riot movie, like the documentary about Quiet Riot. I've because I got called into audition for that when they were getting the new singer, And I went in and sang for Frankie Benali. There he was. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I sang Mental Health for Frankie Benali. And it was really cool. He was so nice. He was like really the nicest guy. And he was nice to me after that. Like he would come to my page and be like, you're a star, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, what a sweetheart. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad that he's gone. And like, we're losing so many. We're losing so many folks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just a function of getting old, I guess, you know. Yeah.
Circle of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard.
We try to do a more deeper meaning about
No, I heard it. Oh man.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So
I have only a question for VK. So you talk about the Big Bang Theory. You are a huge fan. So did you see Young Sheldon? Also,
I don't love that show.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Why? May I ask you why?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's because I don't know if I really like Sheldon or if I like Jim, the actor who plays it. Like the actor who plays him is just so like there's something special about him. I can tell there's just something special about him. And I don't sense that when I only watched like one episode of Young Sheldon and I didn't get that. I was like, I feel like they lost whatever magic is in Sheldon. And then I thought maybe the magic isn't in Sheldon. Maybe it's in Jim. Maybe that's the thing. I feel like they just tried to do Malcolm in the Middle meets the Big Bang Theory and they didn't get it. No, but you know, that's me. I mean, a lot of people don't.
It's your opinion.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Yeah, because I saw the first episode and I say, that's strange.
Yeah, it just didn't have the same. I don't know.
Vibe. Yeah. I watched the Big Bang Theory 3 times. I watched the entire
series, really?
3 times.
I'm not saying you watched 3 episodes, but you watched all of it.
Yeah, all of it. And I finished the series and then I started to watch it again from the beginning and then again because it's one of my favorite series and I love to watch it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my husband was in the play, and he had to go to this awards ceremony, and I went with him, and we're in the lobby, and there's Howard Wolowitz in the lobby because he was nominated for a play for this thing. It was like the LA stage things, and my friend who was with me is like, "Come on, let's go over and say hi." I'm like, "No, I can't do it." But then apparently, I guess his wife or something knew someone that was with us. And so they came over and my friend was like, she's a big Bang Theory fan. And he's like, oh, wow, really? And I said, yeah, actually, I think I've seen every episode. And I said, and for that, I thank you. And I also apologize. And he's like, yeah. And his wife's like, I don't think I've even seen every episode. And I was like, so I was like, yeah, but like, I'm like, I love that show. My husband's like, yeah, it's her comfort food. It really is. It's her comfort food. Like,
yeah. Also for me, it's really comforting. I used to when I finished the series, I went a little bit depressed, so I needed to watch it again from the beginning, and it was really
last episode. Oh my gosh, that last episode.
Yeah.
Hey, please, don't spoil it. I have to watch it.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding, but I have to watch it. Yeah. Don't spoil it, please.
I will not spoil it, but it's
really sad. I read something, not the entire episode of the plot, but I read some reactions from my on some blogs and some friends that watch the last episode, and I will prepare for that.
Yes, prepare.
Yeah, I'm preparing myself.
And anyway, every time that I watch it from the beginning, I noticed something funnier from promote the characters. And the first time I really enjoyed Sheldon, but the second times I watched it, I started to appreciate more Bernadette and
Amy?
not Amy. Oh gosh,
Like
I don't
Penny?
remember. No, Raj.
Ah,
Yeah,
Rajesh.
absolutely.
Rajesh.
Yeah,
He's great. He's great. They're all
He's
great.
great.
That's the thing, they're all great. Like people don't know how hard it is to do like a sitcom like that. Like that's like my husband tells me all the time. He's like, that's hard to pull that off these days and make it funny.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And it lasted 12 seasons. There are a lot. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I was going to say that I tried to watch also Young Sheldon, but actually I didn't finish it. I watched just the first season, but after that I didn't get into that so much. So probably
it's really.
it's not
it's more family oriented.
Yeah.
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 Not good.
Yeah.
Not bad, not good.
Right.
Not
Just
lame.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a standard series, like the middle. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, I guess we are close to the end of this very funny chat with you, VK. And we usually end our chat with a very special, official final speech. So it's your time to say whatever you want.
Wow.
Feel free to inspire our friends and inspire us, of course. So
he's like, no pressure. This is your final speech, and don't mess it up. Like, oh my god, friends, Romans, countrymen. Thank you so much for watching. First of all, thank you for watching. Thank you to Ravenscry for having me. These guys are awesome. Go listen to their music, support them. Go support all of the artists that you love. If you love artists right now, if you love their music, if you love their shows, if you love their movies, if you love their writing, go support them because they are the ones that are getting us through this pandemic. You can't say that you don't need them at this point because what have you been doing? If you've been in the house and have not watched any TV, read any books, listened to any music, I will eat my hat. You have to have something because that is what we're fighting to live for. I believe it was Theodore Roosevelt who said that. He's like, we fight the war, but if we don't have arts, what are we hoping to win for? There's got to be something worth saving. So yes, we're trying to save our lives, but what kind of lives will they be beyond the pandemic? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. So that's why we've got to keep making art. We've got to keep connecting with each other, and we've got to be decent human beings. Without music, life would be a mistake. Yes, it would.
Yeah,
it would. Correct. Yes. These are wise men. Listen to what they say.
Well, actually,
you're too kind.
Actually, this is not mine, but anyway, it's really true. Okay, thank you so much, VK.
Thank you. Thank you, VK.
Again, congratulations on your music.
Thank you.
It's really cool. Congratulations on your career because it's awesome. And guys, remember to check out anything from VK about VK on our social media, and there is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also, our official website. Remember to check out the Spider Accomplice because they are going to release their music quite constantly right now, as she said before. And so let's stay focused And don't forget also to set a reminder on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, so you won't miss our next live chat, because we are going to chat again with some people. On Monday we will have a chat with Laura Macri, isn't it?
Not yet. It will be 2 weeks later, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we will see in the
You
the next.
spoiled it. You spoiled.
I just wanted to announce the next stuff. Why not? And
Yeah, that's good.
also follow our new playlist, Ravenscry live chats on Spotify.
Yeah.
And of course, there will be also the music of VK and of the Spider Accomplice. So
yeah,
check out. I think that's it. Thanks again, VK, for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for spending with us this awesome night. Thanks to you guys for attending the live chat. Have a good night, a good day, a good afternoon, a good morning, wherever you are in the world. And that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.